So we're live.
Yeah.
It's a different start time. You'll be thankful when that stuff comes out.
Manny,
so I've gone with the pieing 2 times in a row.
You know, Manny, I actually thought you were gonna go with a different picture of this one. It was pie related, but it was one shot where you just see Charlotte covered with pie on her face, and she's actually licking the pie. And I just felt that would have matched your narrative even more.
No, I wasn't gonna go that route.
Okay.
Well, you could have went the route of Brock Lesnar's back.
Oh, I did
Marcus,
do that. I did do that.
Justice for Sami, man.
Justice for Sami. Sami didn't deserve that all week. He did not deserve that.
See, he was asking for that ass whooping though. He kept provoking the beast. I mean, I feel like he had time to escape out of this thing.
No,
He walked up to Lesnar. He walked up to Lesnar. Like to start the show, Lesnar's out there giving his speech, and Sami walked up to him.
Marcus, we will discuss this when the show starts.
I'm just saying, justice for Sami. Sami did it to himself.
And then how it started, how it ended.
Man, Charlotte is really skinny, and I know what I was like. Wow, she's really long, and every time she walks out in them shoes, I'm like, she's gonna fall.
And then the rumor
she does it.
And Andrade are done.
Well, that's what I said on the show.
You know who needs to be done?
2 weeks ago. No one gives my stories.
Know who needs to be done? The guy who was too late with opening the ropes for Charlotte when she was trying to get out the ring. I don't know where the hell he was at.
She was trying to get the hell out of there.
You know.
The hell? You go make me miss my flight. Manny, opening the rope for me.
The people
I got places to be.
Manny, the people need to see our beautiful faces. We should start the show.
What show is this? Because you said I'm hosting. Is this the Untitled Manny and Marcus show, or is it the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast?
It's the Untitled Sharpshooters Podcast. I don't know what it is, Manny, but we got it. You're hosted, and I'm ready. And I love being a guest.
We're thumping.
I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Remember to like the video and subscribe. Ow, ow, ow!
I didn't realize we were doing this.
Hey! Oh!
Check out the Marcus and Manny show.
I hate you both right now. You guys are ridiculous.
It's Sting! Welcome everyone. I guess to the Untitled Manny show, Manny and Marcus show with Eric.
What a reveal.
I stand for Sami.
I guess I'm Marcus the Great. We're doing the wrong show, right? I feel like we're on the wrong show right now.
I'm hosting, it's our show.
It don't matter. It's Saturday, and you know what that means.
It's time for justice. It's justice for Sami, and that will be my name. I am Justice for Sami this week. This is bullshit.
We're gonna start. We're starting the show off hot. No wedding banner. No how's it going. Sami don't deserve no justice. Brock Lesnar came out there. He's back. He just paid $1 million in fines. And he's about to say what that was like, and he's coming after Roman Reigns, and then Sami interrupts him in the middle of that speech. Oh, you deserve your ass whooped. And he's lucky he didn't get beat down on sight. That he took his time. He took his time and intimidated him first.
Marcus, I'm going to stand right here on this December 4th of 2021. You're sitting here and condoning bullying, coercion, pressure, because that's what happened. Sami said on multiple occasions, I don't think this is the right night for me to face Roman Reigns. But Brock Lesnar used physical force to make him make this match, Marcus.
Sami accepted that under duress.
Yes.
You are not allowed to sign contracts. Contracts are void when you sign them under duress.
He had a chance to just get out of that ring at any given moment. At any given moment, Brock Lesnar walked away from him numerous times, didn't know who he was, and Sami continued to just hang around and linger on. Like, Sami is, I believe, faster than Brock Lesnar. If he
No.
wanted to, he could have left.
Brock-
He could have notified the police department or whatever the case was.
Brock
He had
Lesnar's free.
opportunities to escape.
Marcus,
Brock Lesnar's a freak.
once Sami stepped foot into that ring, he became Saskatchewan prey for Brock Lesnar. That's what
Yeah.
it was. Because Brock even admitted he did not know who he was. But once he found out that he was the number one contender, at that point he decided to make a power play to inject himself into the day one show by making Sami. And I'm calling all the lawyers I know. Hopefully Sami will pick up the phone
Larry
because
H.
we're gonna
Parker.
get justice for him. Sami deserves better. And quite frankly, I'm just gonna be all
Maxine
seriousness.
Shaw, attorney-at-law.
This might be the laziest booking WWE has done in a long
Whoa,
time.
I wouldn't call it that at all.
This was pathetic. This was
Oh
disgusting.
no!
I
What?
like
disagree.
honestly from the fact of Sami being coerced to give this match with Roman to the fact that he didn't even have a match because he was taking the Suplex City. Yes, I did laugh when they stood him up in the corner multiple times. But Sami deserves more than this. And quite frankly, we could have did this to Jeff Hardy, and I would have been okay with it too.
No, you wouldn't have. The world wouldn't have been okay with that. The world, how could you do this to Jeff? Why is Jeff being intimidated by Brock? Because, Eric, the one thing you know about Jeff Hardy is that he wouldn't back down from a fight.
Marcus,
Yeah.
you support oppression, man.
So, if Sami wasn't the bitch, he would have defended his title. He would have just took the ass whooping from Brock. Brock ain't gonna kill me. Brock ain't never murdered a man.
Okay,
I don't care what he talking about.
Before we get into the rest of SmackDown, I did promise Eric we're gonna change up the formula of the show because me and you have already spoken about most of the instances that have happened already in the course of this week. We've allowed Eric 15 minutes to talk about everything that happened during the week.
And Manny, I appreciate this time, because, it's a lot of things that I need to discuss right here. So the first thing I want to ask you, gentlemen, who made the worst decision this week? First of all, you had Seth Rollins, who unfortunately kind of made his match a triple threat because he believed Kevin Owens when he was lying, or Sami, who was in an impossible situation with Brock Lesnar. Who effed up the most this week in WWE?
Oh,
Seth
Sami.
or Sami?
Sami put himself in danger by just walking out there. He had no reason to go out there. Let Brock Lesnar give his speech. Brock Lesnar was cutting a babyface promo. We ain't never heard him cut a babyface promo. He's happy to be in San Antonio. I ain't never heard Brock Lesnar happy to be anywhere but his damn house with his wife and his kids. So, therefore, Sami Zayn interrupted something and just robbed us of Brock Lesnar, the Good Samaritan. Manny, yes.
I want to counter argue you. I believe Seth Rollins made the biggest mistake. because if I knew what Kevin was doing to me because he slapped me first time, if he was gonna come get me again, I knew what I was gonna do. I was gonna attack Big E and be like, "Fuck you, Kevin." Singles match at day one for me.
and Marcus, I'm going to agree with Manny in this one. I think Seth Rollins messed up more because, as Vince said the previous week, snitches get stitches. He was snitching on Kevin Owens. He didn't have to go and verify with Kevin Owens. He could have just showed up and wait for the graphic to show up if it was going to be a triple threat match. Sami, on the other hand, was just trying to introduce himself and let Brock Lesnar know, hey, I'm the number one contender. No one knew that Brock Lesnar was going to react the way that he was going to react.
Hold on. You gonna let that motherfucker know you're the number one contender? You gonna walk out there?
Yes.
Who walking out there?
I'm
I'm
a
just saying, you gonna walk up there and be like,
Grown-ass
Brock Lesnar,
man.
I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm the number one contender.
Marcus.
Kiss my ass.
Let me point out, Sami went out there with peace. He went out there with peace in his mind because he came out there and he gave many, many compliments to Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar decided to
He
fight
said
back.
we the same. He's the same. Other than the UFC championships, we're the same. All right, for the record, Brock Lesnar being Canadian. Is that new? Is that the only one new to that? I thought he was from Oklahoma and Oklahoma and Minnesota. I always thought he was American.
No,
I thought he's American. You can't just claim because I live here. You can't claim.
I think he has what is
Nationality.
called. I think he has a visa.
I don't think so.
That makes you a citizen. That don't make you a
Yeah.
Canadian national.
Well, maybe
He's not
gave
Canadian.
up. Maybe he gave up his American citizenship. I don't know. Or maybe he was actually from Canada and was recruited to go to Minnesota. But we're not gonna sully up my
Oklahoma.
Sir, you're not gonna sully up my 15 minutes, so I need to keep it moving. So
You
continue.
saw it up. You saw it up when you went with Justice for Sami.
So continuing on, Manny, I've already had this conversation with Marcus, but one of my favorite segments from Monday Night Raw had to be the awkward segment of watching Monday Night Raw with Vince McMahon and him talking about surprises. And yes, you gotta expect to slap. Manny, as I told Marcus, my biggest disappointment was when he was really harping on surprises and going on. He was holding a pencil. I was waiting for him to stab Austin Theory with the pencil because I want to know who uses a number 2 pencil nowadays. How did you feel about that segment? Well, Manny, I decided to retract that conversation off, and I'm moving on to my next one.
Manny, hold on. See, we're Americans, and we write with confidence. We write everything in ink, or we type it out in our tweets. We don't worry about the mistakes.
Excuse me, sir. I like to draw in my spare time. I will doodle every now and then.
Yeah, but as an American, I would draw in pen because we don't make mistakes. Because America, that's why.
As my therapist once told me, draw your feelings.
I really wish we had a 15-minute timer on the screen because I feel like Marcus is trying to take up all my time. So the last thing from Monday Night Raw that I really enjoyed was I thought the segment between Big Time Bex and Liv Morgan was actually a very good segment. I do not think that Liv Morgan could ever defeat Big Time Bex, but I thought the promo that she cut was good enough, and also Big Time Bex called her a failure. So we expect Liv to fail, but gentlemen, is there any chance next week on Monday Night Raw, Liv Morgan pulls the upset on Big Time Bex? Marcus, I go to you first.
What's the question? Is she gonna pull an upset?
Yes.
No, she's Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, as someone said in the chat, she ain't never winning nothing, and she's gonna piss off and disappoint all her adoring fans, and I'm gonna laugh in their face when they cancel their Peacock subscriptions, or they don't have anyway that they've canceled for the 20th time. She has no way of winning whatsoever. And if she does win, I will retire from YouTube and podcasting. And by the way, Becky Lynch apparently is claiming that she's been champion for 500 days. I don't think that should count. I think she's full of shit. She was gone for like 12 months or whatever, and then she came back, and then there was 26 seconds that she was not champion. So she cannot claim to be champion.
There was also a belt swapping, so the timer should switch and stop and start.
Her whole timing is off. There's no way they allow her to get away with this.
Man,
this
what
is
about
disgrace
yourself?
To the Walters of the world who just carried that title through a pandemic.
I have a feeling because it's Monday Night Raw, we're not going to get a proper finish to this. It's going to be a janky ending, and then we get this match again at day one, which maybe Becky's missing her baby a bit. Maybe she wants to stay home a little bit more and take some time off and be with the baby a bit more.
Now, Manny, because you know, although I realize mental note to myself, don't ask Marcus the question first because he takes up all my 15 minutes.
Motherfucker.
Eric, the 15 minutes it wasn't to stay in 15 minutes. It was to give you a lot in time so you can cover this stuff.
Yeah, and Eric, the show has only been going on for 13 minutes. I think 7 of it was talked about Sami Zayn. We're just 3 minutes in. You're 15 minutes, brother.
Man, well, because I still haven't got the dynamite yet, so you know I'm making my way down this road.
He's making his way down south.
But Manny, Marcus brought something else up. Like, we all think that this match between Liv Morgan and Big Time Bex will end up at day one. However, there was another match that's going to be booked next Friday that we're going to talk about is Naomi versus Sonya.
So we're all over the place.
Which match would you prefer to see?
You're not just covering SmackDown.
Why are you
You're all over the place.
Okay, well then I can say that question.
Catch up. This is the Eric rebound.
Okay,
this is the Eric
where he has more rebounds than Anthony Davis,
which they normally say before the main event. But we're starting the show with this.
This is so exciting for me because I've never had the speed round. So I'm jumping now to NXT.
It's 15 minutes.
It's NXT, and there's only one thing I want to talk about, and this is towards Manny. Manny, how did you feel when Trick told Tony to talk that stuff Tony. Talk that stuff. How did you feel at that moment when the 2.0 was cutting their promos?
I hated it. I hated every second of it. Because he spoke no sense. Eric, go back and look at it. Him and
Manny,
Grayson Waller spoke
know.
no fucking sense.
I know. I know.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You can't talk about wrestlers cutting promo and not making sense. Growing up in a generation where 1994 is the best year in wrestling, Manny, when no one made sense in any promo. I don't care if you were WCW or WWF. In 1994, no one made sense in promos. It was just yelling and screaming, and you could see the cocaine oozing out of their eyes.
I want to quote Marcus Sheely from 2 weeks ago. I was a child. I was a child. I was a child.
No, like for me, this 2.0 segment was like a bad cipher. It was like, so Mello goes first. Then it was Grayson Waller, who I detest. And Manny, who do you detest, Waller or D'Angelo? Which one? Which
I
one?
don't like D'Angelo. I don't like D'Angelo because it's such a sleazy character. Like he's designed to make me hate him.
But I
like
think,
when you
but
look
also,
at that, it's like he looks dirty.
like the greatest thing though is just like when Trick was touching him, talking about talk your stuff, Tony. And I'm like, Tony don't want to deal with you. He don't want to deal with you.
Don't deal with the Booleans.
Yeah, it's like, why are you there? But I did, for me, they gave me hope because we called him the big booty nephew. I was like, maybe Scott will show up on NXT. I don't need Rick. I need Scott to show up, and that would be amazing.
I need Uncle Scott. But of all everybody in this segment, the only one that I feel like will have a job in the next 5 years is probably Braun Breaker. Just saying.
No, I
can
can
see
see
Vince.
Vince.
You think.
Mars,
But no.
I think they really like Mello.
I feel like Mello will be gone if they decide to like the Draco Anthony or the military guy from Eaglewood.
Draco Anthony.
Info Ecuador. I can't remember his name.
Draco Anthony is 0-1 already because he's lost to Boa on 205.
Oh, he fought already.
Yeah. What? When did that happen?
205 Live.
No, that's not canon.
I was
That's
doing
not
research.
canon.
Like, cause Draco, for whatever reason, like his promo, I was getting like maybe this was like NXT's black version of Darby Allin. Like I felt like he was being kind of mysterious, like he was just tapping coffee. I was very intrigued by him.
Black version of Darby Allin is basically Kid Cudi.
Okay. Okay.
So he's basically Kid Cudi.
That was unnecessary.
That's what I got. It was necessary. It is, because that's Kid Cudi's whole thing. That's Kid Cudi's whole thing. He's basically Black Darby Allin. Come on.
That was so unnecessary.
So the thing about it is that Boa interrupted the match. I think his name is Enos against Enos and Solo. They're both in the
You
streets.
can't remember this.
I know
wait,
he's
who are you
known.
talking about?
I know
You're talking about
he's
Solo
known as-
match.
I know he's known as Solo, but do you see a place in this world where he and the other guy merge together to be some type of unit?
Oh, Idris Inofe.
Yeah.
Oh, Idris Inofe. Yeah, I can never remember his name. But now that you said it, educate. Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a short-lived pairing. I
But
don't see it
no.
long term.
You want to know why? Because Solo, he's the one. Okay? He's the one. We the ones. He's going to join up with his brothers. He's joining up with the Usos.
The Usos better come to NXT and get him some shoes.
I think if they honestly gave a damn about NXT, the day they give Solo his own title match of some kind, that the Usos make a run in and make a say, and they be like, "What?" The Usos, yeah, they ran in, just super kicked some guy, and now he's the North American champion.
I mean, Jimmy would be the one that fucks that shit up for
Yeah. God damn it, Jimmy! You fucking all up. Not made of it, Jay.
And Duke Hudson and Cameron Grimes better be happy that I'm already invested into their match for the simple reason that that segment with them didn't work. It just didn't work.
That segment was ass. It was ass water. Ass water from a homeless man. That's how much that was shit. That was terrible because
Barber Chop could have happened this week, and then that should have been the end of it.
Yeah, they had the closer The previous week when he was in the barbershop and had me invested, he's carrying around a bag of his hair, and I was like, hell yeah. I can't wait for War Games for this match. Now!
Right then and there told me why Brandon Vink didn't work, because a promo in front of a live crowd does not work for him, because that was awkward. It just didn't feel right.
It was a bad promo. I don't think it's him.
I don't think it was
I just think it was the topic. Yeah, the topic of the digital graphics has never worked. No, I think digital. Anyway. I'm okay with hair versus hair, but the digital graphics of showing what someone looks like bald has never worked for anybody and has always been terrible because it just didn't look right. Everything was bad. He's losing.
Well, now let's move forward to bringing something to someone who didn't bring anything to a table, and he is still not my champion. I want to talk about Adam Page doing commentating during the Bryan Danielson match, and I don't understand exactly what they're doing with this story, because Bryan Danielson is going and destroying all of his friends in the Dark Order. That's the story that I'm getting, and he's doing it just to show that I guess Adam Page has surrounded himself around weak people. Then this week, and correct me if I'm wrong, I felt like they tried to shoehorn a stipulation in that I don't know if it ever existed, that Adam Page could not lay hands on Bryan Danielson, and that's why he can't save.
No, I made that shit up.
My question for you is, why is that even important? Adam Page has absolutely nothing to lose. That is a stipulation that you give to the face that is chasing the heel champion. And because, like, if he goes and touches Bryan Danielson and save one of his friends, the only person who loses out is Bryan Danielson, because guess what? Adam is already the champion. So why does he not want to save his friends from the ass whooping? That's what I don't get. And that's
he didn't create the stipulation. It's Tony Khan that created the stipulation.
Still, he's the champion. So what if he touches? Tony Khan loses the match.
Well, no, the real plot hole in this story isn't that Hangman Page can't save his friends. It's that the friends of the man can't save. There's 30 members of the Dark Order.
Yeah.
30 members. They can all come to ringside. They know what this man is coming to do. He's going to kick their head in. He's going to knock them out. He's going to tear MCLs. He's out there to cause damage. And yet none of the Dark Order members, and I'm including -1, including that, because he was there last week too for whatever reason, aren't out there protecting their boys. Why you got to make run-in saves if you would be out there in the first place? You know what he about? Unless you really thought Alan Angels had a chance.
They got him on the numbers game, yet they're not doing anything.
No,
yeah. They're going Bruce Lee style. One by one.
There's a man single-handedly destroying an entire faction, and no one is doing anything about it.
Eric, that is the equivalent of someone showing up to your house and everybody sitting there watching you get your ass whooped.
that is the equivalent of us having a fourth guest on one of our shows, and that person is smarter than us, more intelligent than us, and we let that person continue to take over the show without.
I'm okay with that.
No.
You ain't.
No, you ain't, Marcus. No, you ain't.
What do you mean? What are they doing? They just on the show and they're having hot takes. They're having more intellectual takes. I'm like,
We had a fourth guest and they started trying to host the show, Marcus. They tried to direct the show which way it was going. You ain't letting that happen, Marcus.
Oh, probably not.
Can I put it this way? Jade Cargill, who can't wrestle to save her life, is more of an impressive champion.
Well, you can't wrestle to save your life. You can't wrestle. Yeah, she ain't won the host title yet, man.
Yeah, but she got that.
She won that bitch show title.
I do not like Adam Page. I know many people wanted Adam Page to be the champion, but he's not doing anything for me. He got 5 weeks. You
only giving him 5 weeks.
Well, here's where I agree with you, Eric. Bryan Danielson is carrying this whole feud. Whether it's like 30 Dark Order members and Hangman Page. And I wish there was just more of Hangman, talking on the mic, doing something to address this issue. Like, even go to the back and we watch some of the guys beat up and what are we going to do next week, and him hyping up maybe the next guy in Bryan Danielson's fight, like, you go kick his ass, Johnny Hungry. Instead, I get Johnny Hungry cutting a promo, which I go, what the hell? And then Bryan Danielson ran away. I was like, just fuck him up like you did the other guys. He's a joke just like the rest of them. I'm just saying.
And the last thing I want to bitch about, and
He's
this
in
is
WrestleMania.
and Manny, you can put you know what it is. It's this right here. This right here. I swear.
This
If
here?
you want to talk about somebody trying to, I guess, appease an audience without any purpose or story behind, that's what this was. I mean, the fact that they were caked with the flame retardant stuff, like, it ruined the spectacle of what the match was going to be. It's like going to a magic show and you have an instruction guide of everything that's going to happen with the magic show. Like,
You took my comment.
I didn't even know you said that. Shit. What? That's why we're
I
brothers.
told you I said that.
You did. Damn. Oh shit! Well, Marcus, all right. That last comment was not a comment of my own. Apparently, it was placed in my head by my brother Marcus, and I'll stand by that.
And you said it wrong.
I said it because I said it the way I want to say it. But with that being said,
Whatever. I'm just gonna say it
the
again.
fire spot to me is a very special spot in professional wrestling, and it needs to mean something. This meant absolutely nothing except that Cody is in Atlanta and he doesn't want the fans to boo him. He's not even in this blood feud enough to want to set Andrade on fire in the match. He was in the feud with Aleister Black. Like, it made absolutely no sense to me. And then also, like, this was a street fight. They could have came dressed in more proper attire to help protect him so we didn't have to see the flame retardant stuff on them. It left such a bad taste in my mouth, but yet I know the wrestling community was in love with this match. Manny, where do we go? Like, what next rabbit out of the hat are they going to pull in AEW to try to be more relevant?
Punjabi prison match.
Yes.
only way you can go, because that's the most deadliest match that's only been done twice in WWE. It's so deadly they don't want to do it any more times.
You know, the fact that you know that all the Punjabi bamboo and things that make that structure is someplace in the storage room just waiting to be used again, it's amazing to me.
But as I elaborate, yeah, it was just like watching a magician tell you they're gonna make somebody disappear and then showing you the trap door. That's the exact words I told you, and I can't believe you said it so backwards. Anyway, with that being said, Cody needs to stop. Somebody needs to get control of this man. And there's one thing to do this spot, and dangerous fire spot, jumping through the fire and all that, but to just do it on a Dynamite randomly, and it's all Cody stuff. It's the most over thought out, I need to do this, I need to do that. You can tell with his intro, like, he treats every match like it's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And you know what? There needs to be someone to go, no, Cody, this is Dynamite. You put him to the table, you get the pin. I don't know who he was protecting. He took all the fault. It doesn't make sense that Andrade was knocked out from this. Cody went through the table. Cody went through the fire. And it didn't make any sense.
But the thing was, why did Liberty's mother come out there and light the table on fire?
Excuse me.
Like,
You're not even giving her the dignity of giving her own name.
No,
Liberty's mother.
no, it made no sense to me because, like, if this was a blood feud that, let's say, Andrade had been talking mad shit about their family and said that Liberty was a waste of sperm or something like that, like, you can understand.
Wow.
You can understand the relevance of why she would want this motherfucker to be burned. But at the end of the day, it was just that she saw that her husband wasn't winning the match, so she had lighter fluid handy and said,
Awkward.
Let me set this table on fire. And like it made no sense to get to where we're at.
It was completely awkward to set up to that and them just lingering on there, and it made no sense. I would understood if this was the Malachi Black feud, and maybe, and this is someone you need to burn alive because he's so evil and he represents evil. No, it's Andrade. This is El Elo. He ain't did nothing. He ain't did nothing to nobody.
They were in the faction, and now it seems like Cody decided to go fight Andrade instead of Aleister Black, while Aleister Black is fighting Andrade's natural opponent.
Well,
The
Dynamite.
faction, the whole business doesn't even make sense, because how did it begin? It was a three-way. I think it was a match between Pac and and Andrade Black came out to help Andrade, and then Cody came out to help Pac. So they decided tag team match. And
They switched partners.
And then they just decided to switch dancing partners at one point.
and no
That's where
explanation.
we're at.
However, AEW Dynamite did bring me a little bit of joy. And I know you guys equated Sting and Darby to Coco. But for me, as I told Marcus on the phone, I was like, it looks like that Sting and Darby started to put on blackface and then realized it was a bad idea. And say, you know what, let's go with our regular face. And that's what happened.
Sting looked like he had a really good beard going on.
Yeah. Like he was gonna be in the stage play The Lion King or something like that. Like I didn't know what was going on. But that was pretty much all I had that really stuck out to me this week in professional wrestling.
To me, the only people worth seeing on Dynamite is the MJF CM Punk stuff, which wasn't even that good this week, but it was solid, whatever. And Bryan Danielson, and who he's gonna beat up, and basically, I just want to see his matches. Just what he's gonna do, because he's the most entertaining, and I like hearing from Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston is amazing. Like he was amazing on Rampage. The thing about Bryan Danielson, he is so far ahead of everybody with his in-ring work and his promos in that company. It's sad. It's sad.
But you know what the thing is?
Well, I would say storytelling.
The thing is, his storytelling is so far above everyone else. You can see it. That's the worst part about it. Is like, you can see he's on the top tier already. Like the elite are not even on his level.
No,
they can't tell stories like he does.
Wait, hold on. Spoiler. Adam Cole is not on his level. He can't do it. He can't be.
No, but Adam Cole would never be on his level. If he stayed in WWE and maybe got some more of that polish, sure. I hope, because he was under tutelage of Triple H and Shawn Michaels, who were some of the best storytellers in WWE, he may have picked some of that up. But the stuff he's doing in AEW is trash.
Like the greatest thing about Bryan Danielson is the fact that I don't respect you, Adam Page. And I think you're trash. And guess what? I think everybody that you run with, I respect even less. So to prove my point, I'm going to destroy every last one of them. That is like one of the most heelish things to do, that I'm like, fuck your crew, fuck you too, I'm going to kill them all. That's what
also this heel turn is out of nowhere. His heel turn is out of nowhere. It was so one day Tony woke up, fuck, I don't have an opponent for Hangman Page. Ryan Danielson, we need you to do what you do. Just randomly turn and everybody believes it.
It was a sheer mention of WrestleMania and that's it. The fans turned on it.
It was quick and it's simple. But I would also say MJF does a good job as well. Him and CM Punk, they're doing a solid job. It's not the best, but it was solid.
This follow-up this week did not have the same magic that last week had. It fell flat for me. Like him on commentating, watching CM Punk, have a match. I just didn't care. I just didn't care. Now, I guess my last question since you brought up.
Oh my god, I thought he was gonna transition like Mark Henry would.
No.
And now it's time.
I didn't think he was gonna do that.
That would have been more funny if I did. But
hey, he had to use his big boy voice on Rampage this week.
Does the AEW fan turn on AEW if Bryan Danielson defeats Adam Page?
No. It's Daniel fucking Bryan.
Wait, you can say Bryan fucking Danielson, but you can say Daniel fucking Bryan?
It worked out. Do it, say it again. It worked out.
I'm gonna say it out loud. Why would I say it in my head? Daniel fucking Bryan. No, it's Daniel fucking Bryan. No, it's Bryan fucking Danielson. It works the same, Manny.
No, it
works the same. Call him by his real name. Call him by his real name.
Well, let me be the judge. Manny, say yours first.
Daniel fucking Bryan.
Okay, Marcus, say yours.
Bryan fucking Danielson.
Manny, I'm not being biased, but I think Bryan fucking Danielson actually works.
Cause it's his full. It sounds like your full name, like you talk about a neighbor. Like Bryan fucking Danielson stepped on the mouth. Oh shit! Bryan fucking Danielson is beating people's ass. Yeah, Bryan Danielson is fighting people in the neighborhood one by one until he gets to the big house.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Daniel Bryan as a name because I really don't like first names that are last names. It really bothers me. He had two first names for a name. But, what can I say? WWE had to keep their money. But with all that has been said and done, it is now time for the main event. Manny, you can proceed with the Friday show.
Okay, so let's kick off with SmackDown. We've already spoken about Brock Lesnar and his hijinks.
He deserved it. He deserved it.
So let's go to the only match worth talking about on this show, which was Sasha Banks versus Shayna Baszler. So they played a video package of Shayna Baszler doing the kick to the stairs.
Yes.
And then Pat McAfee called it the Future Endeavors kick. How did you feel about that?
I respect that because it was Eva Marie and Nia Jax, and no one has a good thing to say about either one of them. And the internet pretends like they care about those two. It wasn't like it was against who do they love? I can't think of. Yeah, Liv Morgan, or I'm trying to think of somebody they fired recently that she broke their arm, but she hasn't. So I was for it. I supported it. Pat McAfee is amazing, and I hope that from now on that is known as the Future Endeavor kick, and maybe that'll get something going with Shayna, who Mr. Man loves seeing take pins on a weekly basis.
I mean, Pat McAfee is in that edge zone. He can say what he wants, when he wants, how he wants, and I think all he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Vince, I didn't know to say that," but I think he brings such a freshness to the show.
Can I cut you off?
Go ahead.
What did you think of Edge and Miz?
It was fine. I mean,
you think it needed to happen, or is it rip off, or Maurice and you waiting for Beth Phoenix to show up?
Think about it.
She's off NXT now, and
you can easily say that it was a rip off of what took place between MJF and CM Punk. But at the same time, when I was watching it, I was like, "Damn, CM Punk, you really messed up," because I would really love to see you across from Edge in the ring instead of against MJF. It's just you can't get into the ring and not respect what Miz.
You can't see me. I thought that's where you're going.
You cannot disrespect what Miz has accomplished in his career, and it fell into place that he felt disrespected. That they didn't even talk about his return after all the goodwill that he's been doing for WWE. It felt more natural than anything. Do I want to see Edge versus The Miz? No, but Edge needs to win. I think as when Edge mentioned his opponent, WrestleMania, it should be AJ Styles. We will find out how to get AJ Styles versus Edge at WrestleMania. And I'm very concerned about the whole Amos turn because Amos seemed really upset.
Omos. He ain't making really famous cookies here. He ain't making famous cookies.
He seemed really upset that AJ was not actually blind. I mean, just saying.
Okay. All right. We can go back to SmackDown. I just thought, I was curious because you being a Miz guy, all these years, I just thought, he's made his comeback. I thought you had something to say. That was it. You can go back to SmackDown.
So,
where's Shotzi?
Happy talk happened. Corbin's dressed like a young buck. That's enough said. Jailee's coming.
That was that, and that was disgusting.
That's what that was. That makes sense now.
No, I don't think he was intentionally dressed up as a young, but I just think that's what people wear, and it was disgusting. I don't know. I was grossed out by his leg tattoos and everything. I was this is not my Baron Corbin.
Pat McAfee clouding his leg tattoos might have been the most hilarious thing ever. I mean,
you got a little graffiti on your leg. But no, this needs to stop. They need to stop.
It looked like Jeff Hardy went back to the pub because when he was hat to hat, I was like, oh, he got a little pudge going on. He couldn't get the shirt off either. But people love this from Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy, Drew McIntyre makes perfectly good sense because when Drew McIntyre turns on Jeff Hardy, he's gonna even be more hated than what he is already.
He needs to lose Angela. Angela got to go.
He's pissed at Adam Pearce, who's talking to Sonya Deville over FaceTime because he's hiding from Brock. Jailee's debuting next week. Are you both going to the show?
I can't. I have rehab, so I can't go.
You can't go?
I have rehab.
Oh, man. What the hell?
I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed.
Jailee!
I know.
Jailee! That's the only thing I'm going to
She's probably going to debut, Marcus. She's probably going to debut in Los Angeles and be released to the next town next Friday. That's what's probably going to happen.
She can protect you.
She could.
Okay, so Eric, ask you a question about Sonya and Naomi.
So my question was, would you have rather have on day one Naomi versus Sonya or Liv versus Becky?
I think I want to see Naomi versus Sonya because I haven't seen Sonya in the ring for a very long time.
I would agree with you.
I
And
think
Manny,
her
when she
hair up.
stated that when this suit is on, you can't do anything to me, but when I got my wrestling girl, you better watch out. And I'm trying to think to myself, was Sonya even that good in the ring? But you know, who am I to judge?
Sonya will put it on you. When that hair up, you know she's gonna square up.
Hey, I said that. That's gimmick infringement.
So if Eric's stealing my shit, I'm stealing your shit, Manny.
For me, for whatever reason, I just would love for Sonya to hire Toxic Attraction to come and whip Naomi's ass. Just for the hell of it.
They're back together.
It just, you know, she called in a friend.
There'll be so much backlash. Oh, Naomi deserves better.
But it gives Naomi
Hashtag
more
forever.
it gives Naomi more motivation to go seek the counsel of the tribal chief. That's what I want to see.
To beat up Toxic Attraction.
No, it's just that because
You need to handle
no,
it.
because
We'll handle
management
it.
is
We'll
out of
handle
control.
it.
And we already know that Roman is above management. Although his intel, his birds, his information wasn't coming in right for him this week. He was a little upset, which was one of my favorite segments of SmackDown. It was like, Coffee's back? Did you know about Brock? Did you know about such and such?
Brock
Like,
was advertised.
like-
Brock was advertised.
Marcus,
I don't even.
Marcus, Roman Reigns
He
is
has
like
no
the media.
balance.
I mean, he's like the president. He don't rely on the media. He relies on his staff to give him briefings. And his briefings were not up to date. He did not know Coffee was back. And that was...
But Eric, what followed that? That was big dick energy. I'm gonna smash him. I'm gonna smash them, regardless of who's out there. That was the big dog with his big dick energy.
Yeah, I mean, but can I ask, like, I know day one, we're getting Roman versus Brock. Do we really want this again?
Yes, I want it again.
Oh, okay.
And then this will be the last time. And I believe Sami's gonna throw himself in there to try to cost Brock.
Maybe.
Or some guy.
Or maybe we'll get some Drew in there, because Drew got to figure out a way to get in there, because...
But where do you go? We're basically almost a month away from Royal Rumble at this point. I mean, we're a month away from day one, but we're a month away from Royal Rumble as well. So who's winning? Who has any momentum of going after the tribal chief?
Right
winning
now, Marcus.
This damn thing?
Right now, Marcus. This is what I like to call WWE in the fog, where you really can't figure anything out, and that's what I enjoy about it, because we don't get onto that road to WrestleMania until the Royal Rumble. So this day one, like no pay-per-view, we don't know. And you're saying who's going to try challenge the tribal chief, but that person also winning the Royal Rumble could challenge the Raw champion, who is currently Big E. I mean, so it's
I'm calling it right now. Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble. Contract expires, shows up in Royal Rumble, wins it, goes after the tribal chief, and then he can have the big WrestleMania match he's been planning for his entire time with his pyro.
Hold on. So we know how much like big tier people get in WWE. What contract are you giving Cody Rhodes?
Same thing they gave Adam Cole.
He lucky to get 60 grand off me.
What the fuck?
Betty. He definitely ain't getting Dolph Ziggler money. Like,
you know what? I would pay Cody. I would pay him good money, but not because it's Cody Rhodes. It's because I can start using Dusty Rhodes highlights again. Because we really stopped because we don't have any of the Rhodes family in the group. And then we may get Goldust back. We may get Goldust in a package deal. But they're not paying Cody for none of that. That was me joking.
So the
hopefully
Viking
no one
Raiders lose
says,
to
I can't believe you're
Lotharios,
doing that.
And we don't need to talk about that match because it was terrible.
No, we do. Why the fuck? Why the fuck did this happen? This was ridiculous, and it was to me, this was the most offensive thing in wrestling all week. The Lotharios win thanks to Nakamura and them, and then the Viking Raiders are okay with it because Boog started playing their music.
I mean, Boog's
Just
like
really
a good
upset.
guy.
I need the Viking Raiders to kill Boogs at that moment. That's what I wanted. I wanted them to celebrate. Oh, that's cool and all. They break his guitar and they kill him and Nakamura because those guys are doing nothing.
So,
they just exist. He has the Intercontinental Championship, and he's only defended it once.
but you see why? You saw why though. on
They
that.
understood though. They understood that they were trying to help.
No,
them.
if you looked at Nakamura, Marcus, he's wearing a cast on his hand. I don't know when he messed up his arm or his wrist, but I think he has an injury that he can't defend his title.
It was that fucking dark Damian Priest. I know it.
It probably was.
Not
like-
the light version of Damian Priest, it was the dark version.
Because at first I thought it was just like a
We
hand
gonna
wrap,
run
but
that
then
back?
but then I saw that he had like the little thing that kept fingers and stuff straight. So I was like, oh, Nakamura is hurt. I mean, it's not like WWE releases a list of this person is currently injured. I'm
They
not
should.
report.
I mean,
They should.
I would love that. Like,
I would like to know what's going on with Thatcher. I would like to get an update on what's going on with Thatcher, who's just sitting at home, and Elias, and all these other random people who are just at home.
I want
feel like-
Brock Lesnar on the report as probable every week.
what happened is that Elias went to that graveyard and he tripped on another stone and he fell into somebody's grave. That's why he got buried alive. No one knows where Elias is at.
Elias!
I see, like, it's one of those things where with the Lotharios, with Angel and Humberto, it's like WWE is kind of in the pool with them, but they only got 1 foot in because, like, they're letting them win, but they're not giving them any credible wins, which I think is detrimental to the future of this team because every time they get these wins, it's like a fluke victory. Let them beat somebody. It's okay if they win. It's okay.
No, Eric. This needs to they don't have to beat anybody. Let's go out and beat nobodies. We're in the squash matches, for God's sake. Wardlow should not be the only person in wrestling in a squash match. Give people squash matches. Let the Lotharios go out there, beat the shit out of somebody, showcase their arrogance and their pretty boy lifestyle, and let them be them. And then give them a microphone, let them talk, let the crowd boo them for a little bit because they're in a piece of shit, ugly town like San Antonio. You know, he'll work shit. I'm not saying what San Antonio is. I'm just saying that's what they can do.
Hold on, you didn't say it. You said is.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Wait, what did I say?
You said.
I just want everybody. To all the San
Uh,
Antonio listeners out there, those are Marcus views and Marcus views alone.
These
I
are
have
not-
never visited,
no,
I have
what
never
I'm
visited
saying-
your town. I do not know anything about.
I am implying that they need to go out there and just cut. It doesn't matter. You can insert town or whatever I said. All right, the worst
Did you
town in
ask
the country. Go
Marcus-
SCU and say this is the worst town they've ever been in, and you can go that route, and they can just go out there and do your job. Give them squash matches to establish. It didn't have to be the Viking Raiders.
Well, let me
It
ask
had
you
to be
this
them.
question. Let me ask you this question: what motivation does other tag teams have when you go out there week in, week out and bust your ass, and next thing you know, with one easily backstage interview where the Hand of the King announced that at day 1 they're gonna fight the Usos for the tag team championship?
Run that
and no one-
back.
It just ain't no other type of things about that. I mean,
Well, you know they did beat Jimmy or the DQ victory over Jay or Jimmy. I forget what happened.
how does a single match lead to a tag team match, Marcus? How
Don't
does
worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, it's booking 101. Have you
so-
not seen the
you know
booking
what?
playbook that Mr. Man's had for years?
The funniest thing about that DQ was at the moment Jimmy did it, he high-fived Pat McAfee.
Yes. McAfee's on board. He's one of them, and he was like, "Oh no!" And they have this, brawl, whatever, and we gonna run the Usos and New Day back one more again.
I'll take it. I accept
But
it.
Manny, you know what the hardest thing for me was this week on SmackDown? When those 3 words came out of Cesaro's mouth. You were my brother. And
You were my brother. You
And I
were my
was
brother,
like,
Sheamus.
I was like, this
Oh,
is
no.
fucked up. Because I feel like, why are they fighting each other? I would feel so much better if they were all in cahoots with each other. Like, it's not like Cesaro's doing anything, and he can benefit. Because Sheamus is the only one of the trio that can talk.
Eric, I went more complex than that. I know we want to eliminate less titles and 24/7 title, but I think there needs to be a Sheamus title of some kind where it's just European men with muscles hitting each other. With your Cesaro, your Sheamus, you get the Walter in there, Ridge Holland, just all the dudes with muscles and big that are the hard hitting cats in your company get together. And it's basically the neverweight title for WWE. Just go that route with it.
I need to give out an award this week, and it goes to the Englishman. because he's the first person in a while that watches a TV normally.
Woo! Look at him watch TV. Look at him watch TV. He's clear. He fixed wrestling. You don't actually have to show us what's on the screen. Just assume that fool's watching his hero.
You know what the worst thing about the Sheamus and Cesaro match?
It was
just
too
when
short.
Just when it was picking up, I was getting into it. It was like, it's over. What the hell? Like, give me more, sir. It was disappointing.
Can we get the bar back together? So, like you said, Eric, get the bar. The Usos have no tag teams on this show to fight. It's not like the Los Lotharios are in the way. The Viking Warriors are clearly a joke because they're partying with Boogs after losses. And Boogs and Nakamura are not a tag team.
You know, Marcus, I tried with all my ability to get the bar back together because, Marcus, in my rehab, I wore my bar t-shirt and I was trying to walk them back together, man. Walk them back together. Wait. See, look, you guys can be the bar and I can be Ridge Holland. With my Billy Club. There it is.
There it is. We are the bar. If I went like that.
Okay, so 2-Pie Tony and Charlotte Flair. Tony tells Kayla Charlotte can try and embarrass her as much as she wants. That's not going to stop her going after the SmackDown Women's title. She isn't afraid or intimidated by Charlotte's accolades. Whereas Charlotte says the only way to get noticed in the women's division is to be challenging Charlotte Flair. And she says that even acknowledging Toni Storm feels like she's giving her way too much credit.
AEW.
Which is when she gets
I thought that was a shot.
And then she gets pied.
Yeah. So I don't think this was revenge. I thought there should have been a pie, and there was a pie in her face, and I was like, oh, good for Tony to get her one pie back. Now it's time for the second pie. I think there should have been a giant pie that went to her face. I wanted to go, what would you do double down on this bitch? Just slap pies in her face all day long. I think she should have got pied by everybody. I think she should have got pushed into a giant pie. That would have been revenge.
Just off the stage and she falls in it like yesterday.
Yeah, like she's just like, maybe she's dazed for one pie and then falls into another pie. And just be like, my snakeskin Versace Gozer outfit is ruined.
You know, so because I took Cody and Andrade to task for them, like, you know, pulling back the curtain. And I want to point out that I want to talk about this segment too. It was hard for me to believe that Charlotte did not hear Tony and her hips rattling on the stage steel steps behind her.
You couldn't hear that, no, Rita. You couldn't hear that, no. There was no way you could hear that. You daredevil.
You would hear them hips and that vibration. I know for a fact.
You know your hips.
I know, and they don't lie, Marcus. They don't lie. And I felt like more pie got on people in the audience than it got on Charlotte.
I don't think so. Look at that.
Yeah, but that's half a face. That's half a face.
There's somewhere, someone's daughter out there saying, "Is Netflix? Do you want to continue with Netflix?" And this happened.
That's terrible.
I mean, I guess my question I have for you guys: has anyone ever made a whipped cream pie?
What, smashing someone's face? No.
I've only ever seen that on TV though. It just seems like fun. And I feel like I'll fuck it up and the crust will still be kind of frozen because I use frozen crust. I'd be like, oh no!
Marcus, I want to
kill them.
Marcus, spoiler for you, Marcus. There is no crust in a whipped cream pie. It's just all whipped cream.
No, there's some side crust.
No, because if there was crust, it would be... Manny, put up the picture.
No, not this one. This one didn't have crust, but sometimes.
They don't have crust.
No. You're wrong, sir.
No, Marcus, because crust would hurt.
No, not if it's soft.
Ain't no such thing as soft crust when you bake a pie.
It is. I've seen enough cartoons and episodes of What Would You Do to Know that there's sometimes crust in those pies. I've seen enough episodes of Bozo the Clown to know there's crust sometimes in those pies.
So how would you bake the crust, Marcus, if you have whipped cream? Because once you put the crust in the oven, the whipped cream.
Hey, I'm not a chef.
I'm just saying.
I'm not a baconologist. Okay, I don't care. Neither is what Eric's saying. I'm just saying I would.
They're called bakers. And if you want, they also have chocolatiers, Marcus. If you want to know, they have chocolatiers also.
I am not a chocolatier.
You need
all right?
to stop watching Bake Off and all this other shit and start watching things normal thing people watch.
He either watching Bake Off or Bake It Off.
School of Chocolate is amazing on Netflix. I'm letting you guys know. Check out School of Chocolate. Is amazing. It makes you want to be a chocolatier.
You're a sommelier for chocolate. That can't be real. Not real jobs. People just making up jobs. I'm so sick of this.
I'm gravy. It's sommelier the other day.
Yeah. That gravy's too thick. Yeah.
Wait, was this gravy made with ham or was this made with veal?
Well, this is when I had to go into the office on Tuesday and we had lunch together, and so we had chips. On the menu it was chips, cheese, and gravy. And obviously, I don't like mixing cheese and gravy because it's like it's an instant bad reaction.
But don't forget, he had gravy pizza.
I know, diarrhea on site.
Marcus, he had that in the confine of his own home.
So the person ordered it, but then had the gravy on the side, and it's like Manny will use that. It was a bowl of gravy, like not even the gravy I like. It's like very liquidy, and then it was announced
Sounds
to
like
my
diarrhea in a
manager,
bowl.
I am a gravy fiend.
Let me in.
He's going to be a sex fiend.
No, Marcus. Let it drip.
So Manny, is beef gravy your preferred gravy?
Yes, beef gravy is my preferred gravy.
What's your least favorite gravy?
Timmy's not talking about Manny's gravy addiction. You're in
We were just arguing about cream pies.
Yes. So let me and Manny have
I was in a completely different conversation there.
So Manny, back to the question: what is your least favorite gravy?
Isn't it already two?
Huh? No, you can
Beef
make
or
gravy
lamb?
with any type of meat you want. You can have a turkey gravy. You can have a duck gravy. You can have a veal gravy. You can have a vegetable gravy.
Manny scoffs at turkey gravy.
Turkey gravy. Ugh. And vegetable gravy. Vegetables. What the fuck are those?
Hey man, you can put gravy on mashed potatoes, and that counts as gravy and vegetables.
You can have a pork gravy.
I'm sure you can do beyond gravy at this point. I'm sure it's beyond gravy.
No, because gravy, the way you make gravy is.
I feel like this beyond. They got bacon. They got turkey bacon. I'm sure you can do.
Marcus,
so they got meat. I'm sure
right.
you can do fake bacon. I mean fake gravy out there.
Marcus,
it's called wavy.
Marcus, gravy ain't right unless you got some grease to make the foundation of it. Grease and flour, man.
That grease is gonna turn into something healthy. Beet juice. Beet juice.
Okay,
so it's disgusting. Beyond gravy.
Technically, man, we're done with Smackdown. We're done with Smackdown.
Okay, so
Roman beats. He smashes Sami.
Yeah,
Smackdown ends.
So now we're on to Rampage.
Where's Von Wagner? He's supposed to be protecting Pierce.
We're on to Rampage, where Rampage Brown took on Ilya Dragunov,
yes!
And it ended in stoppage, which was very sad.
Yeah, wait, why is this ending like this? Why show me this? I literally went, huh? Oh, he's really hurt. He's like holding his hand on the outside. I'm going like, no, not Rampage Brown.
And then they panned on him lying with. They took him out of the ring, and then he just fell to the ground. They panned on him. He's like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You can see him visibly say it.
Yeah, this is my chance. Getting old is terrible. That's when it got to me. When I was like, damn, Rampage Brown is old. He can't go like he used to. I know Sting's in his 60s, but Rampage Brown is age 60 in the ring.
I'm offended. I'm appalled. And goddammit, this is disrespectful to what AEW did on Friday night. On Friday night, they actually had one of their best wrestling shows in a long time. Although none of the stories made any sense, but they were good wrestling matches.
Hold on.
Pause. If you listened to the show on Thursday, which you didn't, clearly.
I did not.
We said we were going to do this. We were very open about it. We said it maybe in the first 10 minutes of the show. We were very open. We were going to do this.
I don't want to cover Rampage. Here we're ready to talk about Rampage Brown. And now he's hurt. And now we need to be a Rampage Brown update every single week when we're supposed to cover Rampage. When you go, it's time for the main event.
So
it needs to be about Rampage Brown's injury update.
Are you trying to tell me we're not going to be able to sit here and badmouth Christian Cage
about Tony Nese?
for trying to take credit for what the Jungle Jurassic Express accomplished? And quite frankly, let me put this out. And you know what? Yes, Tony Nese versus Sammy Guevara. Anybody who's like, oh, it's the greatest match ever, needs to go. That shit took place on 205 every week, and nobody watched. It ain't nothing different. It ain't nothing different than what happened.
But his opponent was Arya Davari at that point. But, we digress.
Well, hold on. Cedric Alexander. Let's go through a list of Drew Gulak.
Ricochet.
Ricochet. If the list goes on and on and on of all the people Tony Nese done wrestled. I think he even wrestled Leo Rush on NXT. Tony Nese has been doing this for years on Impact and 205 Live. And now people are like, oh no, Tony Nese, greatest wrestler of all time. Can't believe he had this match. No, I believe it. And I'm still not watching it because Tony Nese still got no personality beyond his 8 ass.
So on 205 Live, Tony Nese fought the best kept secret, Buddy Murphy, and it was one of the most amazing matches I saw that no one gave a damn about. No one cared.
No one cared.
Because at the end of the day, Sammy Guevara is not putting my butt in seats. And I like Sammy Guevara, but I don't like him. But Marcus, the question for you, because I do follow.
Who don't you like?
I do follow Sammy Guevara on Instagram, Marcus. He posted a picture.
Loser.
He posted a picture that contained 2 losers that said it feels so good to be reunited. And he was posing with your boy, Swerve Scott, Marcus. Swerve Scott. How do you feel about seeing Sammy Guevara versus Isaiah Swerve Scott when his time is up?
It's whatever. Give me a story. He ain't Miro. This has fell apart once Miro lost the title. The TNT title means nothing to me until it is given to someone that truly deserves it, and not Sammy Guevara, who's involved in his inner circle bullshit. Because this 2.0 attacking Jericho stuff, that's all leading to inner circle versus 2.0 and probably several other guys they decided to grab. So I don't care. Until this title is off Sammy Guevara, he does not exist to me.
I know this segment is supposed to be focused on Rampage Brown, but I don't know about his whereabouts. But I want to give a shout out.
He's hurt. He's hurt. It just ended the Rampage Brown report.
What also took place on Rampage, where they cut to the back and Eddie Kingston cut a promo like, I don't give a damn what's going on with Jericho. He should have minded his own business. But 2.0, I'm coming for your ass. And I was like, yes, Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston are the only 2 entertaining things for me right now in AEW. And it's driving me crazy. That's it. And the tag match was fine. Aleister Black coming and blowing mist into Pac's good eye makes no sense to me because now it's just that Cody and Pac have switched opponents. Marcus, your hand is up.
My hand is up, and I want to say one thing, and it's I want to keep this short because I got places to be apparently tonight because goddamn my life. But
he's talking about a job.
Aleister Black, yeah. Let's talk about a job. But Aleister Black leaves the WWE. Joins AEW. Continues to do iFeuds? Why? Why is he still blinded? Why is he blinding me? Yeah. Why is he doing? Yeah. Why is he doing it? Why is he doing it? Are we about to get
it? Why? Bad when Seth did it. It's even worse when you repeat it.
Yeah, like, why are you ripping off Seth at this point? And, you may say, no, he's not ripping off Seth. Clearly they're going this direction. No, I never considered that, I almost called him Neville, that Pac was blind after he blew the misses in the first place. I was like, oh, it's just missed. That's just missed. That cleans out after 3 minutes after your match. You hurt and you're stunned. But now he's eye gouging and he's obsessed with eyes. I'm going to assume we're going to get this eye versus eye match. Eric.
My question is, shouldn't we be really concerned about AEW's medical staff to allow a half-blind man to go into a tag team match that clearly didn't need to take place? And then let's also point out the thing that happened in this match that they did for whatever reason that I don't even know what purpose, but they removed the mask from Pentagon Jr. for just...
They do it every week. Every match he's in,
Marcus,
they take his
Manny,
mask
hand
off.
is up. Your mouth goes shut. Manny, please go ahead.
What the fuck?
Penta's lost his mask more times than AEW have told a compelling story. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not, man.
No, you're not. It's every single week. Every match. Every title match he's in, he loses his mask. And here's what I don't understand, AEW. Don't book matches unless you know you got the guy over for the country. Ray Phoenix, like, they should have been aware of his visa issues maybe at least a week, 2 weeks in advance. I feel like this keeps happening on their shows, whether it's Pac, Penta, or Ray Phoenix. They always have visa issues. I feel like this shit should be sorted out before you decide to book your tag team championship matches.
If they know they're gonna put the titles on these guys, they should keep them close by. Much like when AAA said they wanted Bryan Danielson, Tony Khan said no. So I don't see why they're letting them go back to AAA and go back to Mexico for all that stuff.
Because maybe that's where they live.
They need to start living in the US.
I just feel like
when they're here.
maybe I just think maybe for the product, it might not be the best thing to have them be the champions. Personally, I mean, I think it's time maybe you need to move on.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe
they're not doing anything with them as champions. They're not defending their titles. They're in meaningless feuds. I like the whole championship scene for me in AEW just makes absolutely no sense to me.
Hey, who feels more like the tag team champions, FTR or the Lucha Bros? I feel like it's FTR feels like the tag team champions.
Because FTR's always there.
Yeah. And the heavyweight champion does not feel like... I guess he's there, but I just feel like he should have more of a presence.
But then
Yeah,
I also want
we were saying at the same time, we were saying the exact same thing about Kenny. Because Kenny would do his little segment and then he'd be gone.
Yeah, the only person that AEW as a champion that I guess Mox was filtered throughout the show, and you'd be like, oh, he's a champion, and even Jericho was in the show. They felt like they were the champion, and they were a focal point of the company. It just seemed like Hangman Page and Jade Cargill had the same amount of TV time this week, and Jade was just in the squash.
I'm willing to die on this sword, and when I say this statement, Miro has been the best champion of any champion in AEW. He was the only one that made his title seem prestigious. He fought people who seemed like they seemingly deserved to have a title shot that was working for AEW instead of giving shots to everybody outside of the company while you have people in the company that can't fight for the title.
Hold on. That 1 week that Brody Lee had the TNT title before Cody decided to take his shit back. It was a good week. That was a good champion for a week.
So that was Rampage Brown with prayers with you.
Then we started the Rampage Brown update, and now he's out for how long? We don't know how long.
You guys jinxed him, man.
We killed Rampage Brown.
You know what though? I actually knew he got injured in that match, but I didn't know
I
how.
didn't know.
I knew because it's obviously taped. So it came out that Rampage Brown, and you know how instantly when I see Rampage Brown, I pounce on it.
You guys talk about Rampage Brown, but there was actually two Browns that we need to get mentioned who laid the foundation for Rampage Brown. First, it was Bad News Brown with the Ghetto Blaster, and then it was Mountie Brown with the Pounce. Those two Browns really laid the foundation.
Whoa! That's disrespectful for the most iconic Brown. D'Lo Brown, the greatest European champion of all time, who may have had more inspiration on Rampage Brown than any of them because he was the European champion for so long.
Let me tell you something right now, Marcus. I stand by this statement. D'Lo Brown really sullied the surname of Brown with his antics and his actions.
He's the greatest European champion of all time.
How dare you, Eric?
Yeah.
Like his theme song. You're looking at the real deal now.
Yeah, but can you tolerate him on commentating? Commentary.
No.
Exactly.
But I'm talking about Pat in his prime when he lost all that weight and he was running around the chest protector. D'Lo Brown might be if it was modern day, he would be pushed to the moon on AEW right now.
One of the best
guys,
I
got a message coming through.
Game.
Apparently, Brock Lesnar's gonna be on this show next week.
I don't believe you. You ain't as cute as Kayla.
No. He cannot be on the show. Sorry, it was not Brock Lesnar. They said Brock Anderson, and I said no. We're not gonna have Brock Anderson on this show. No one needs to see Brock again. But he's trying to make it on TV because even AEW doesn't want to put him on TV anymore.
Oh no.
Well, I'm going to say, you know how Cody went through the fire? Wasn't the biggest bump of the week for me. Alright, falling off the stage. That's the biggest bump. And going, oh no, I'm dead.
Don't forget
He's
about
fallen off
Tully.
things- He's fallen off things way too many times in his career in AEW.
Yeah, just randomly.
Well, let's not
He needs
forget
to be
about
Humpty
Tully
Dumpty.
rolling off of the apron too. When he took that bump, he rolled off the apron.
I was more concerned for Tully and R than I was actually for Cody going through fire.
Because at the end of the day, it didn't make sense for Liberty's mom to come out there
Why
and do
you
what she did.
disrespecting people? But for the record, Cody Rhodes and another downturn in ratings for AEW. No one watched this shit again. No one watched this shit on Dynamite for you to be going through fire. They can't get over 1 million. They have to rethink of what they're doing.
What's
that they keep
happened, though?
losing.
What's changed?
Why are they losing?
What has changed? Why have they dropped off so much?
Because
Is it hockey?
because
Is it hockey?
the world has opened up, and quite frankly, I think the amount of people that they have watching this show, that's the hardcore wrestling fans that actually watch wrestling. I think the majority of the rest of the wrestling fans, they read about what has happened and may or may not then go out and go see, hey, was this a good spot for me to watch? I don't think there's many people that sit through the full 2 hours or 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. I think most people read about what happens and go from there. And I think that's just the way
But
things
they
are.
still come in with their mediocre whatever, views, and they're 1,500, 16, whatever the hell they get. Why does Dynamite, a show that features Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Sting in a wrestling match, Cody Rhodes jumping through a fire table, and so much, Chris Jericho, whoever, all of this show, why are they getting worse numbers than they did when they were competing against NXT?
Because there's no hook to make you come back week to week. Like you watch Dynamite. You watch Dynamite.
Right.
Why do you need to come back next Wednesday and watch it? You watch Rampage. Every show that AEW does, it feels like a standalone show. Nothing really coincides with each other. It's like there's no consequences.
There's
That's
something to
just
that.
like going to an indie show, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
basically what it is.
They booked the show like an indie show. They're going from town to town. You get a different show here and there. Compared to, we even talk about, I don't think WWE did a very good job promoting War Games this week, but at least they give you a hook. For example, as you guys said last week when Brandon Vick, I'm calling by his original name, had Cameron Grimes' hair in the back, that was enough to sell the match right then and there. That makes me want to go see, what is Cameron Grimes going to do? This dude is walking around with a Ziploc bag of hair.
That makes you tune in the TV.
We get to
That shows the type of baking shows you watch.
You damn right,
I'm
man.
gonna watch a baking show.
I think the problem with AEW, and I think it's a big problem, is that they are so indie focused that they don't understand that being on television, you need to learn how to tell a story. For example, you guys talk about me watching all the cooking shows that I watch, but if you watch any cooking show, they have a narrative. They make villains.
Someone's
they
walking around with bags of hair.
They make people who you want to cheer and stuff and they give you a hook to come back next week.
Hey, wait a minute. That's one thing AEW does give you every single show, no matter what you ask for, and that's hook.
Hook
So
showed up on Rampage,
don't
Marcus.
say
Showed
they
up
don't
on
give you a
Rampage.
hook. They give you a hook every single show.
Hook was not on Dynamite, Marcus. Hook was not on Dynamite.
He was.
He was. I think he showed up.
Oh.
He showed up.
It was in that awkward segment when Dante Martin was confronting his ex,
Yes.
Leo
Dumbest
Rush.
segment
Okay.
ever. I still have
Okay,
the math.
what was you
I
guys?
still have the math.
I have the correct answer. But what was the worst segment of the week, guys? Just real quick. The dumbest thing you've seen all week.
There's a few
Are
things
we
I
excluding
could
Cody
mention from
going through the
NXT
fire
UK.
table?
I mean, anything you say, even if it's Cody going through fire, go with the dumbest thing you've seen all week and the biggest waste of time. It shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be.
I'm trying to think, Marcus.
There was a lot of dumb shit.
How about you go first while me and Manny try to figure out what we need to find?
All right, fine. The dumbest segment all week is a segment that we didn't even fail to bring up we didn't even try to bring up.
He's
It
gonna
goes
talk
to
about Joe
NXT 2.0.
gonna Joe Gacy.
No. That's not Joe Gacy. That was amazing. I wanted to see him fight that woman. I want to see him fight the fat guy and get him tired. I wanted to see him go do all of that. That was amazing to me. That was one of my favorite moments that they stripped away from me. No. What MSK need to go burn in hell somewhere.
Okay.
This segment was terrible. I know. That's what I'm saying. It's the worst segment of the week.
I told you that made me hate them even more. That I'm so far done with them.
The whole switching of cars and them just sitting there signaling—that was absolute trash. What am I looking at, and why am I coming back? But Eric, like you say, they give you a hook. I need to know who the shaman is, so I have to watch War Game. But it was terrible.
Hey, at the same time, I was like, "There's only one shaman I know, and that's the shaman of sexy." I was like, "It's gonna be John Morrison who was let go. He's back." But no, that was a bad segment. But at the same time, I've seen him do those segments when they were in Impact and they were the Radicals. So, damn, Manny, did you come up with your worst segment?
I was that. It reminded me how much I hate.
I told you
MSK.
I'll win.
But I don't want you to win, Marcus.
That's the only reason, because I just wanted to read on that for real quick.
It was pretty bad though. I mean, I can't lie. That
Because I was expecting the unexpected, and I got the expected, and I was surprised. And I should never be surprised, and I should be expecting the unexpected at all times.
I mean, Lee Moriarty shucking and jiving should get an honorable mention.
Ooh,
I just want to point that out.
he stinks.
Who's the best and worst face champion? Best is
Of
Roman.
all time?
Right, I'm guessing right now. Best
I'm
is
going
Roman.
to pick Roman for
No, but
both.
he in the face.
Worst face champion, easy for me, Adam Page.
Sammy Guevara.
Oh,
Sammy Guevara.
is Sammy Guevara a face? I think that's also that's a very confusing thing about AEW. I don't know where people stand.
Well, Brian Nash is clearly a heel.
No, I mean he's clear, but like Eddie Kingston,
Oh,
is Eddie Kingston
hold
a
on.
good guy or a bad guy?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna change my worst face champion to Dana Brooke as being the 24/7.
You can't do that. That's mean.
No, that is true. That is a fact.
No,
That is a
what's
fact.
mean
That
is
is
when
a
I
fact.
find out that she was only 33 years old. I thought she was older than that. I was like, oh, I felt bad.
And I'm gonna give Britt
Hey,
Baker the worst
you
heel
are-
champion.
She looks
Britt
good
Baker's
for
the
her.
worst heel champion. Don't age people out.
I'm trying to figure out how she haven't got released yet, man. I want to know.
She's 24/7 champion. Clearly, she can't lose. He got Shinsuke as the worst. Shinsuke, you can't even read.
Okay. So Eric's gonna read out the Disman's email because the Disman clearly doesn't like when I read his emails.
I really should have brought my specs for this one. He doesn't know a lot, but he knows a bit. When it comes to his friends, he'll never quit. If he has an idea, just go with the plan. He's the one and only, the Disman. What's really good, Sharpies? What's really good? Before I get into the meat and potatoes of this email, I would like to preference this by saying that I don't want to get into a war with anyone over which company is better. Personally,
Thank
I
God.
prefer...
WBF.
He says, I prefer AEW these days, but I respect everyone's right to like what you like. Personally, I think the company that everyone should support is AWO, Big Time Players.
Oh!
Episode 1 and 2, which is available at Amazon and would make a perfect gift for Christmas. Also be on the lookout for AWO Big Time Players Episode 3, card subject to change, featuring the debut of Lord Manny Hayes. But enough of that. Let's get down to business.
By the way, the leftovers are spoiled the main event this week in the WBF. Just let you know, they spoiled.
You know what? We really should have done an episode. For that,
they got thrown out.
The post-Thanksgiving episode. We should have done one for that.
Hey, you know what? Maybe for the Christmas thing, we do a the breakfast cereal holiday spectacle, the Merry Christmas Bowl of goodness. I think that might be amazing.
La, 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 la.
Oh my God, Oatmeal has jingle bells around his neck. What the hell is going on? Anyway.
Oatmeal's trash. Oatmeal's
My
trash.
God, he's got a family, damn it. Oatmeal is dust. How many times do I need to pay this?
No, Manny, you said granola was dust.
I don't
Both of
like.
them are.
For the record, I do not like Oatmeal's new gimmick and coming out in Versace outfits, trying to spice himself up with apples and cinnamon on himself.
Marcus, I
doesn't
didn't
make any
care-
sense.
Marcus,
It says you're trash, Oatmeal. You're trash.
I didn't care for Oatmeal throwing cinnamon and granola in the eyes of the milk. I did not like that. I just
This whole heel turn for Oatmeal, it's just so plain. He's so vanilla. He's just not good. He's just not good.
Marcus.
You know what? We definitely need to do it.
Once Maple and Brown Sugar walked away from him, Oatmeal was never
I
the
know.
same.
And Oatmeal's just by himself out there. It'll never release earlier for budget cuts.
You remember when he tried to speak to Apple and Cinnamon? He said no.
Yeah,
Man,
it's just terrible. Oatmeal's bad.
the only
Oatmeal's
person
bad.
that wanted,
I would
The only
have released oatmeal before.
the only person that wanted to deal with
don't
Oatmeal
know.
was raisins, and no one likes raisins.
Yeah, Oatmeal's like the Dana Brooke of the WBF. Why aren't you gone? Why aren't you gone? No one eats this anymore.
Next thing you know, Cream of Wheat is still trying to be side.
Cream of Wheat still does shows on the Indies. Maybe Long Past his prime, but Cream of Wheat's out there juggling away,
You know what, Mark? I did read a
signing
dirt sheet
pictures at conventions.
Marcus, I heard, and it was I didn't hear it was a good match, but I heard that Cream of Wheat fought Shredded Wheat.
Oh man, that was a show.
And it was the Battle of the Wheats.
They broke up. Apparently, they had some program on the Indies where they were a tag team and they broke up. They're going through tables and fire and shit.
Shredded Wheat will remain undefeated.
Damn
Remain.
it.
But do you remember when his
Shredded Wheat
long lost,
plays every match.
do you remember when his long lost brother Frosted Shredded Wheat showed up on the scene
Oh
and
my
everyone thought that was
God.
gonna change the game?
You know, that was the same character, just different gimmick at times.
Marcus,
It was just a different territory.
Marcus, Frosted Shredded Wheat is just bowling with face paint on.
Oh man.
Anyway, yeah, stay tuned
That's
for the
enough
holiday
WBF.
edition of the Breakfast Federation Holiday Bowl. The big reason why I prefer WWE is primarily because I don't have as many questions about the characters when I watch AEW. This man, how do you not have questions? There's so many unanswered questions in
It's 'cause you
AEW.
ask all the questions about AEW.
For example, I was happy for Big E when he won the WWE Championship, but what bothered me was the way it happened. It wasn't so much him cashing in the briefcase, but why he was so fired up to cash in the briefcase. I mean, the weeks leading up to the cash in, he was on SmackDown messing with Paul Heyman, laughing about being able to cash it in on Roman whenever he wanted. Then out of nowhere, he fired up, tweeting, talking about, I'm cashing in tonight. What happened? Why was he so mad? Because Bobby
killed his
whooped
boys.
his
killed
ass,
him.
whooped Coffee's
Yeah,
ass.
he killed the New Day. He killed the New Day. It was revenge. Revenge, damn it.
Roman Reigns is another example. What prompted his change? If I recall, he inexplicably,
Inexplicably.
he missed his match with Goldberg for the Universal title at WrestleMania. Then when he returned at SummerSlam, he had new teeth and his new attitude. What happened? Where did he go? Who is their right mind would have pulled out of WrestleMania? Here's another problem I have. Why is everyone so soft in the WWE? I mean, they get talked to by management like they're less than a person and just lower their heads and take it. Someone got slapped this week and just looked like a woman in a film from the 1940s. I mean, I get that management at almost any job can be a problem, but where are all these
That
people with
shit sets you
dignity and
back.
self-respect? Now, I
Right.
got to stop you right here, Diz, man, because right now,
They don't
you're
have any
splitting hairs.
self-respect.
I mean,
They
because,
don't have self-respect in WWE. He right.
yeah, but at the same time, everybody has a job to do. And when management comes talking to you, take that shit or you walk away with your bag. And if someone is
you walk
paying
away
my
with your
bills, huh?
I like to think that most people would just walk away and jump back. But if you're Naomi and management slapping you in the face, there ain't no reason I'm not beating your ass and quitting this job.
Well, because
Why am I staying here?
Because Marcus, if she beats her ass, she lose her paycheck, and she doesn't get to beat her ass in a sanctioned match. I actually thought
Get
he was
another paycheck.
I thought he was talking about the slap with Austin Theory.
No, that was respectable. That was like your father slapping you or something.
No, it's not,
That was
Yeah, that was an old man slap. Those are lefties. That's like being slapped in the 1940s by those weak ass men with the 40s who slapped their women. Like
He says
together.
he continues. He
Like,
says,
what?
"Where's everybody's self-respect?" Not only that, but Stone Cold Steve Austin made a ton of money battling management. Why doesn't anyone else try to buck the system? I mean, Mr. McMahon is older now, so why is he so intimidating? Maybe it's my dad coming out of me, but he once told someone in power, "You ain't talking to a child, you talking to a man, and you ain't gotta find no water running down my face or down my leg." Plus, my mom is far from a pushover. She has made it more than clear that she needs a job, not this job, and no problem leaving. And if you touch me, you're going to be picking yourself up off the floor. Why can't the superstars on the TV be like that? But the big problem I have is what is the motivation to be in the WWE? I mean, if you earn a title shot, there's no guarantee you'll get it. The main event is never ready. And as I said before, management treats you like you're less than a person. Yet people always say it's my dream to be in WWE superstar. To which I think to myself, why? I bring all of these examples up because my overall question for you guys is, how do you guys deal with stuff like this? And again, this is merely based on what is on screen. Oh, and this isn't a new thing for me. I always been like this. I still don't know why Lex Luger went from the narcissist to Made in America. I guess it just bothers me more that I'm
he
older.
body slammed Yokozuna. That's why
feels
Yokozuna had
insulting.
enough. He had enough.
And before anyone asks why do I watch it because I enjoy the in-ring product. I watch it for research. I don't hate the WWE. I just feel like they can do better. Anyway, Sharpies, I'm going to go, but you guys take care. And remember, the only limits in life are the ones you make. Later, guys. Sign the Disman.
You know, line where he said, I watch it because I enjoy the in-run product, I watch it for research, was very much similar during the Battle of the Chat. When the Lucha Dork said, it's subjective and I wanted to strangle him.
You still can't let that go, huh, Manny?
Yeah, I feel like he should have taken the low road. But I would have had more fun with it. I think if you've repeated the stuff with Vince McMahon now, where someone's battling the system, does it come off well? Like,
well, I think people had got tired of that, right?
Yeah, everyone was done with the authority because they pushed it for so long, and it was just like, where do you go from here? So you can't do that.
But I agree that everybody does come off as very wimpy and cryy and shitty. With that,
are we talking about them? Is he talking about them as characters or them in real life?
As characters. Like, they always back down, or Sonya slapping him, or taking shit from Pierce, and you can shove this job you can shove this job in your ass. Like, everybody seems desperate to do what they're doing, and if this was going on in any other real workplace, or even in, like, the MLB or NHL, people be like, hey, fuck you, Goodell, or whoever, and, they'll speak out, but they don't ever do that. It's kind of like, oh, no, I fear you, master. Don't fire me. I can't afford to do anything else. I do hate that. But I also watch WWE for the ridiculous shit. It's a ridiculous show.
I think for me, my question is that I think he says that AEW does a better job, and I'm just like, why? Because I can't tell you anything that they do. They don't have any stories.
To be fair, he's not mentioned anything about AEW.
I believe
no, he did. He said he's an AEW fan. They do it better
because he says he likes. I forgot why he liked it, because then after that he went into that.
He said the big reason I prefer WWE is primarily because I don't have as many questions about their characters when I watch AEW.
Okay, and I'm like, I have so many questions about their characters, but I mean, I think it's as El Luchador said, art is subjective. I mean, the only character that I felt that is established in AEW is Bryan Danielson. He's a bad guy that is upset that people got mad at him because he said WrestleMania.
Well, Miro has motivations.
What is his motivation? God betrayed him.
No, his God back. God's hiding his wife.
He's going to do whatever he's doing, and I'm invested to whatever he's doing.
I must have missed this segment. Damn.
But the best friends and all that other shit that goes on the show, I'm like, fuck all these people. Everybody, for a lot of my problem with AEW is that they're just a bunch of dorks.
Nope.
Everybody's a dork.
Marcus, I strike. MSK was not the worst segment this week, Marcus. You reminded me. Adam Cole being at commentating and then Orange Cassidy walking out, and that leading to
Yes.
that was by far the worst segment ever because
They had
I
nothing.
still don't know what was supposed to happen in that situation.
He was coming to do commentary, and Orange Cassidy walks out. They stare at each other. Don't stare at me. And then next thing you know, they do a silly. My main issue with AEW is that they come off as dorks. Everybody's a dork and a nerd, and it's not like that's a bad thing. You know, if you like that cup of tea, but as much as you say WWE people whimper in front of management, everybody else have to be self-referential and do all these jokes that are. Yeah, that's a real word.
I know, but I'm just.
You know, I just feel like that, like Cody with the golden shovel and the sledgehammer, and I'm like, or Johnny Hungy coming out there trying to dead. I can't take him serious. I can't take those little arms serious.
But
that
no,
little man.
Let me give you an example. Like,
Why
for
we're
me, like,
now? Because you make fun of my arms.
because
Yeah.
because like we go to the situation where I talk about Adam Cole and the
They're all
Orange Cassidy
babies.
situation where they beat up him. And then for them to proceed on Rampage where they're the ones that are challenging the best friends makes absolutely no sense to me. It should have been the best friends because you got to protect the honor of your friend, Orange Cassidy, who got destroyed for whatever reason. Why did he even come out there?
No, I feel both promotions are fucked up in weird ways.
Yes.
They're
I
all
agree.
fucked up. Where Vince is obsessed with the big man, Tony's obsessed with the little man that can flip.
Well,
Where,
but I think the thing about it, though, I think the
they're
problem
both
is that
fucked up.
we're now older, and I think you expect more, and we all are caught doing that Pikachu face. And Manny, I think I'm going to agree with Marcus again. I think out of focus Pikachu is a lot better than in focus Pikachu. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
but you ain't controlling the buttons.
Bring it back. This is one of those debates. Yeah, I don't watch NXT anymore. I like the black and girl. I was in a random argument, and I don't know why. I didn't get into an argument, but I was reading discussions talking about, yeah, I don't like this black and gold. I don't like this new color and stuff. And these new wrestlers, like Raquel, the Raquel Gonzalez. I was like, she was on black and gold. She was on black and gold. You
Oh,
fool.
where was this interview happening?
Not interview. It wasn't an interview. It was in the comments somewhere. I was like, she was black and gold.
You know-
People just want to
Oh, you
complain
doing that
about
again?
shit, and they were.
You doing that again?
Yeah, I show up every now and then. I
No,
show up.
But I
I just like to be the fact checker.
No,
I'm the
let me
fact
say,
checker.
I think the
Raquel
problem
Gonzalez
is,
was a part of the black and gold, and so
No,
was Dakota Kai.
I think the problem that I think a lot of nowadays is that a lot of wrestling fans are now dirt sheet warriors. It's like they take what the dirt sheets like. I think it was some wrestler that came out like, you shouldn't take what Dave Messer. Why do you let these guys? Oh, it was Jay White. It was Jay White. It was like, I'm not out here wrestling for no damn star rankings. I'm out here trying to entertain. I can give a damn less what this person is going to write about me. If I start going to matches caring about what somebody write about me, then I'm in the game for the wrong reason. I was like, that's the exact reason. Like, you shouldn't be.
That's just something that
Yeah,
people who don't get
young
5-star
bucks.
matches says. I just feel like saying that.
Yeah, young
I just-
bucks. Kenny
I just feel like
Omega.
Dave Meltzer is
10,000
toxic.
beat triggers.
All the dirt sheets are toxic. Whenever they release a story, it's like, what's this have to like what's them doing anything? Like, it's just nonsense, and just let the show be the show.
No, it's
But
like
both shows are fucked up.
go
That's
to
why I
your
wanna go
NXT,
back.
like that NXT thread that you have, Marcus. Like a lot of times that I would really like to have a true discussion with somebody about like when they make a blanket statement. I really can't stand this 2.0. And I want to say, what can't you stand about this 2.0? And then they was like, I just don't like it. And it's like those
The
generic
number one
responses.
thing, they have a bunch of people who I don't know. Oh,
And
you
I'm
mean
like-
young talent that you always claim WWE isn't trying to build. It's young talent. They got rid of all their old talent and brought in new faces to revamp the show. Basically, that's all that's changed. The booking logic, as ridiculous as some of these stories are and these characters, are kind of similar to what NXT was doing, except for they're not taking place in a parking lot.
Well, one thread that I saw, Mark, is that a lot of people were just really upset about the color scheme of the set. They was like, it's distracting. And I'm like, but
Right.
it was also people who were complaining about that the dark yellow and black was just too dark and dank. I mean, I just think people are not really trying to embrace 2.0 for the simple reason that once the dirt sheets reported that Vince took over, it's automatic. It was dead on arrival. It was DOA. Like, we're not going to like it.
Yeah, and they have good moments, even though I may shit on like the MSK moments, or even this week with Hudson.
Can I just point out, I've been
Grimes.
shitting on MSK since they began.
Yeah, no way. I'm gonna let that record be shown. But there's still some of the good stuff. Like Braun Breaker and Gargano had a really good match, and even the Kaylee Ray and
Dakota
Kai match. I don't know why I was blanking out her name, but they had a solid ladder match. She got that. Like she's in a Thriller video. But
Can't bring that up.
like there's some solid stuff on the show. I actually enjoy seeing a new talent on that show. And tomorrow at War Games, I'm actually looking forward to the show. I think it's gonna be a solid show, and the War Games matches should be fun. Toxic Attraction is an entertaining act, whether you like them or not.
I would preference it and say lower your estimations, because it's not going to be like a takeover you once believed in. I would say lower your estimations and just enjoy what's presented in front of you. Don't compare it to takeover, because it's not going to be takeover.
Let me tell you why I enjoy NXT. NXT are taking chances. They are trying to do something completely different with all this new talent. And like the thing about it, Manny, you don't like Tony D'Angelo. It's on the record you don't like Tony D'Angelo, correct?
Yes,
but
I hate him. I hate his guts.
They have done something. You have a reaction towards somebody. So if you were in the arena, you would boo him. Or maybe just because you hate him so much, you would sit on your hands and not do anything. I can't stand Grayson Waller. I want to boo him. I literally want to boo this man out of the building. But each week they're trying to do something, that they're trying to mix wrestling and the sports entertainment world that Vince wants, compared to AEW, where I feel it's the same show every week with the same people being in the same situations with just a little bit of a different mix. It's like we're going to always have a Young Buck tag match. That means absolutely we're going to have Christian leading the Jurassic Express to the promised land. It's like nothing is ever solved. Like I thought Cody and Alistair was over. Like it seems like nothing gets solved. And that's my issues with AEW. It's too indie for me.
Yeah, and that is the end of today's show.
Yeah, you know how I just shut the fuck up at that point, because I was like, dang, it's almost shit.
Eric, I don't know how to close out this Saturday show with you on it.
Well, everybody, we would like to thank you, everyone, for joining the Untitled Manny and Marcus show in lieu of the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast, because I had rehab and had to do a sleep study. We would like to commend Manny for doing a wonderful job on this Saturday, for hosting the show and organizing a great discussion that should have been shorter, but we went about an hour and 40 minutes. And Marcus, you brought it as usual with your wild takes and your insight into the world of professional wrestling. And if you guys enjoy what we do, or you have any comments or suggestions of how we can be better at the job that we are doing, please send us an email at thesharpshooters@gmail.com. If it's a good email, we may read it on the show. Hell, we read all emails on the show. So if you want to keep it private,
email the show. I dare you to email the show. If you
Manny is daring you.
If you still listen to the show, I dare you to email the show.
Also, if you like to help support the show and maybe help fund the Christmas episode of the Wrestling Cereal Bowl of Extravaganza, if that's what takes place, you can do so by either buying a shirt at dspn.storefrontier.com, or
you've said that all wrong.
I think I did. It's storefrontier.com/DSPN. But easily, the better way to do it is to go to our website, thesharpshooters.com. There is a donate button right there. Every little bit helps. $1, $2. Hey, just let us know. It's always appreciative, because it goes into the hosting fees and things of that nature. I mean, we do this for the love, but sometimes the green makes it dance. Make the money dance. And with all that being said,
let us know you're alive.
Yes, we love every one of you guys for sticking with us for as long as we've been here, through the good and through the bad. And we glad
you wrap this shit up. Oh my God!
Peace.